welcome back to my channel, Read and Escape with Nina. Hey, it's been a while, so I wanted to come up here and post a book review and just chit chat with you guys. I am out at the city park here in Chesapeake. I figured I would do one outside today, get a little bit of sun. So there will be sounds, noises, airplanes. There's actually like some type of it's our city dumping area next door. So there's a lot of people who take, bulks of trash over there. So apologize in advance for the sounds, but hey, maybe it might add ambiance, or what would the word be? Edifice? But okay, let's get started. So y'all know my birthday is coming up on Saturday, and my dad sent me a surprise for my birthday. So I know in my last video, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to read for my birthday book, and he decided that for me. So we're going to start with that. This is the book he sent, and it's The Devil at His Elbow, Alex Murdaugh and the Fall of the Southern Dynasty. Now, for you guys who aren't familiar with this was a huge case. Oh gosh, I don't remember the year. I feel like maybe a few years ago, where in South Carolina, where Alex Murdaugh murdered his wife, and oh god, what was her name? Why am I so bad with names lately? Maggie. He murdered his wife Maggie Murdaugh and his son Paul Murdaugh, and he was like a local attorney and very rich, very popular in the community. And he was doing some embezzling and stealing from his clients, and things just got a little bit out of hand for him financially. His staff started uncovering this when they were looking at the books, and when it all came down on him in terms of people realizing what's going on, and they started digging deeper. Obviously he got desperate and he killed his wife and son. There's a lot of layers to it. I would advise anybody to go back and look at the trial if you haven't seen it. It was quite entertaining. um I was like a diehard watcher of this. I was watching it every single day. And I think during that trial someone published a book, or maybe after it. I didn't bring that book with me, but it was a book I read about Alex Murdaugh as well, similar to this, but just a tad bit different. Obviously, these are nonfictions, so it's given me a chance to uh, dig into a little bit more nonfiction, because I'm just not a nonfiction reader. But when it comes to stuff like this, I really do enjoy it, like trial based things, especially if I was already into the case anyway. Um, so yeah, there was another book, and I can't think of the title of it, but if you just go to Amazon or something and you just put in Alex Murdaugh name, you will probably see that book as well. But I started reading a little bit of this. I'm only on like page 20, enjoying it thoroughly. It breaks down the family tree. It goes back to his great grandfather, who was also what did I think they called them, prosecutors, but I think it's another name for it, like a solicitor. But like I said, it's a lot of um, family trauma, deep rooted secrets, a lot of layers to it. And I remember when I read the other book, I had to put it down because I was like, this is just too much. How did this family and this man just keep up with all these secrets and just these little side deals, and having people on their payroll? And it also involves the death of Mallory Beach, and also the death of, I believe his name was Stephen, who was killed on a back road. They feel like the Murdaughs had something to do with that. Is layer after layer, and I would highly recommend, if you're into like crime junkie, and if you were into this trial, to check out these books. Like I said, it's I'm thoroughly enjoying it. It also has pictures of the family in it. It also has the trial pictures. I mean, he put on quite a show at the trial. And Judge, you guys have to forgive me with these names. I read so many books. I think his name was Judge Newman. I absolutely would love to meet that judge. He was awesome during his trial, very professional. Um, and you can imagine, being that he's a judge and Alex Murdaugh was a prosecutor, that they worked together at some point, and the amount of professionalism that this judge had is just unprecedented. He became famous through this. I remember seeing, during the trial, people taking selfies with him, and I was thinking, gosh, I would love to meet the judge in person and take a picture with him. I just thought he was excellent. But yes, I advise you guys to check this out, or the one that's before this by a totally different author, by the way. But I enjoyed the first one, and so far I'm enjoying this. So this is my birthday read. Um, I probably won't finish this in time for my birthday, because it is pretty thick. And sometimes when it comes to nonfiction, I don't typically binge read nonfiction. I like to take my time with it and absorb the details. So I probably won't finish this in time for my birthday, but I will give you guys a book review on this when I am done. All right, let's move on to the book review for the. I have two books here that I've read, and I have three that I haven't read that are on my TBR that I want to talk to you guys about. All right, get started. So I'm going to start with the books that I've read, and then I'll go over the ones that's on my TBR, because I'm still trying to share my TBR list with you guys. I had the other video where I went through a decent amount of books that are on my TBR, and today I just bought three that are on my TBR that I wanted to cover. I don't want to make the video too long. All right, these are, let's see, I'm going to start with this one. You guys, it is getting hot out here. So if it looks like I'm melting, that's why. The sun is beaming down on me, but I want it to be like in the middle of the part where I wouldn't be accidentally filming too many people. You got people out here running and walking and just enjoying the weather. So it's hot, but it feels pretty good. All right, this book that I want to talk about, I read last April, and I could not put it down. It's Ask for Andrea by Noelle W. Eiley. I absolutely love this book, you guys. I felt like when I was reading this, I felt like, wow, I haven't read anything quite like this before. It's a bit of crime, thriller, mystery, and of a ghost story, I guess I can say. Um, I'm probably gonna have a little bit of spoilers. I'm gonna try to make the spoilers minimal, just in case somebody wants to read it. But it's gonna be hard to talk about this without having a little bit more detail. I'm trying to quickly look at the back to see if this was something mentioned in a synopsis. Okay, it is. So this wouldn't be so much of a spoiler. Okay, so you have Megan. I think the name is pronounced Risha, and Sky have one thing in common. They were all murdered by the same man. He haunted them online, masquerading as a eligible bachelor. Then he played the perfect gentleman, a thick layer of charm and a 1,000-watt smile, hiding the fact that his first dates end in shallow graves. He gotten away with murder 3 times now. The only thing that might keep him from killing again, the women he murdered. Megan, Brisha, Sky might be dead, but they're not gone. They found each other, and they won't rest until they find a way to stop him. The haunt, not hunt, the haunt, Haunt, that's the operative word here, is on. Packed with suspense and nail biting fear, a brutal, heart pounding, page turner thrill ride of a story. I agree. So when I was reading this, it starts off with, and I don't, like I said, I read it last year, so I don't know the order. I don't remember the order in which the girls were killed, but it starts off with one of them being murdered. She was on a date, and they go back to her place, I believe, and she was strangled to death. And we're getting her perspective through this whole thing, which is interesting. She's describing how she feels as she's being strangled, his big hands around her neck, her losing consciousness. I'm sorry, that was my mom calling. I had to hang up. Her losing consciousness, and you can feel the fear as you're reading it. And she leaves her body and can see her assailant cleaning up after himself, um, as he's preparing to leave her house, and she can see him going to his car. And while all this is happening, we get a little bit of background on these girls as well. So you get some background on like their parents, where they come from, how, who they are. Um, and they're sort of in like this world where they're stuck. They haven't quite moved on because they're shocked about their death, of course. They haven't accepted it yet. And so you have one of them out there, and then he goes on another date, kills another one. And then you have this other girl out there, and somehow they find each other through this energy, this connection. Um, and then when the third girl is murdered, she's found too, and they come together. That's why I just love this. I don't think I've ever read a book where you get the perspective from someone who's passed away. And these girls, they come together and they try to use their energy to move things, make things happen, to basically scare their attacker and also try to save other women from him. And they won't stop until they see that he's, held accountable for this. So they're using all their energy to try to make things move, try to make things happen, to bring attention to him. It is so good. It is so good. I would highly recommend. It's not even, I don't think it was a long book, 289 pages. um well written, detailed. You're going to be on the edge of your seat. There's some things that I want to talk about, but I just can't, because I want you guys to be surprised when you read it. Just know that it's something different, and being told from the perspective of the people who passed away made it even better, versus just constantly hearing from the attacker or the person who did these crimes. A plus, 5 stars, 5 stars. I will never forget this book. I loved it. And I think when I first started my reading journey, when I was like, because I've always read, but when I was consistently reading, this was one of the first books I read. And so it's kind of near and dear to me. All right, let's move on to The Perfect Ruin. This was good, by Shanora Williams. Another thriller. Absolutely love this one. This one had me laughing a lot. And I know that sounds crazy because, like, it's a thriller, it should be something serious. But Ivy's inner monologue in this book was hilarious. So, all right. So, it's a revenge story, basically. And I love a good revenge. I don't know why, to me, they feel satisfying. Sometimes it's nice to read a book where some harm was done to someone and they get revenge on them. And I know it's like, two wrongs don't make a right. And I know all those other little cliches and everything like that. But that doesn't apply to me when I'm enjoying a good read. Okay. So let me read the synopsis at the back. A brutal tragedy ended Ivy Hill's happy family and childhood. Now in her 20s and severely troubled, she barely has a life or much to live for, until the day she discovers the name of the woman who destroyed her world. Lola Maxwell, the mega wealthy socialite with the heart, Miami's beloved First Lady of Charity. Accomplished, gorgeous, and oh so caring, Lola has the best of everything and doesn't deserve any of it. So it's only right that Ivy takes it all away. Little by little, Ivy infiltrates Lola's elite circle, becomes her best friend, and plays Lola's envious acquaintances and hangers on against her. By seducing Lola's handsome, devoted surgeon husband, turns into a passionate dream Ivy suddenly can't control. And soon, an insidious someone will twist Ivy's revenge into a nightmare of deception, secrets, and betrayal that Ivy may not wake up from. It's look, if you think you're going to figure out what's going to happen in this, you're not. Okay, it has a twist in it. So we start with Ivy, who I believe her parents or her mother was killed. She finds out through her therapy because she's going through therapy dealing with the loss of a parent, and she finds out through her therapist the name of the person who killed her mom, and that is Lola Maxwell. So she starts following her, and just like it says in the synopsis, she infiltrates herself into this lady's life. She applies for a job to help run her charity. She tries to learn every little thing about this lady, and and just so she can get close to her to hurt her and have her perfect world come crashing down on her. Guys, I enjoy every little bit of this. And Ivy's inner monologue is hilarious. She'll be like at Lola's house. Um, like sometimes Lola will have her to come over for lunch, and they'll just be sitting out at her house by the pool for lunch or something, and then they'll be talking, and then Lola will walk away and be like, "Oh, let me go and have my maid make us some cocktails." You know, it's just very fancy and sophisticated. And then Ivy would be thinking to herself, "Go ahead, you skinny bitch." And it's just, I know it sounds crazy, but I was laughing so hard because Ivy just hated this lady so much, and it really came out in her thoughts. I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun read. I don't have anything bad to say about it. I thought the twist was great. You're not gonna know what's gonna. You just don't know. Okay, you're not gonna see it coming. And if you do, well, hey, maybe you're smarter than I am. But I did not see it coming. I thought it was great. Um, you have to read it, guys. 5 out of 5. Loved it. Okay. So those are the two books that I've read. I'm gonna move on to the three that I bought because I'm not at home and I came to the park. I couldn't bring a lot of books to go over for my TBR because it just would have been too heavy. I was carrying them in my little bag here. Um, so I just brought three. And don't worry, I'm going to show you guys more that I have on my TBR list. And also for my birthday, I'm going to buy more books. Isn't that great? So I'm going to be adding more to my TBR list. It's so fun to be me, I'm telling you. All right, so the first one I'm going to start with is actually a Dollar Tree book. Don't sleep on Dollar Tree books, okay? $1.25 for a decent book is not bad. Books are expensive. So I saw this and I was like, oh, not typically my genre. This is like nonfiction, family, health. That's what I saw on Goodreads. Um, and I was like, I'm gonna give it a try. And another win for me, if I'm being honest, is the fact that it's large print. Oh, yes, I'm at that age where I love large print, and I'm not ashamed to say it. When you get a book that's large print and it's only $1.25, that's a steal. Okay, so this is The War for Gloria by Atticus Lish. The back of it is pretty long, so I'm just going to give you a quick synopsis from what I remember reading. Um, you basically have this kid who's estranged from his father. His father is pretty much what they describe to be a psychopath. He's a deadbeat. He's horrible, and he's 15 years old, and his mom is dying from ALS. So we're following this character. His name is Corey, and he's basically just going through life, just trying to help take care of his mom, while dealing with no support from his dad. And he's just going through life. He gets a job, to try to help support them, and he's just basically going through life. We see from his point of view how he just navigates life dealing with the death of a parent, an absentee parent, and just the brutal world that we have to deal with sometimes. I'm interested to see how this goes. I've never read anything from this character. Um, and I feel like maybe in the end, this Corey character will grow from things, and maybe there's a lesson uh, that comes out of this that I think might be interesting. Sometimes I think, I can't remember the quote directly from Stephen King, but you read fiction and you think, oh, it's fiction, is made up. But Stephen King said that um, how did he say it? He said something on the lines of fiction having a little bit of truth to, what goes on in our real world. And I absolutely believe that. I'm gonna look that quote up and get it said say it the right way, but it's something on the lines of that. You guys get what I'm saying. But that's why I love it. It's not just, yes, we get to read and we get to escape, and but the stuff in these fiction books, they happen for real. I mean, where do we think these ideas come from? They're not just made up. Is what we see day to day. Then you have kids out there who um unfortunately have sick parents. You have parents who are not involved, and sometimes the kid has to become the adult, and that's sad. And sometimes it makes you question, um, especially if it's not noticed, if it's just gone by and it hasn't been noticed. Sometimes it makes you question social workers, teachers and things like that. You're like, where are they at when stuff like this is going on? And then sometimes some people can hide it very well. So, but yeah, so I think this is going to be a good read. I'll let you guys know. Moving on to the next one. All right, moving on to the next. Okay, I have here this is called The Davenports. And this one I believe is about a wealthy black family in the 1900s. And basically there's three sisters and they're all trying to find the love of their lives, and we're just going through navigating through each of their lives and them looking for that man in their life. um I thought this would just be an interesting read. It's historical fiction, and I have been trying to dive more into that. So I'm excited about this read. There's also a sequel to it, and I believe the cover is purple, but it's also I think it's called The Davenports as well. Um, oh, and it's by Crystal Marquise. Sorry, I didn't say the name of the author. But yeah, it says they have wealth and reputation. Now is their chance to find love. So it's YA. It is young adult. I'm gonna give it a try and see what I think about it. Um, Historical fiction has been quite interesting to me lately, and I am looking forward to it. It looks like each chapter basically uh, is a character. So you'll have Ruby and you'll have Olivia and Helen. So it just goes through the lives of the sisters and their family. Okay. Yep, that's that one.
Hey y'all, this is me. I'm editing the video and realized that the um, the third section of my video where I was doing my TBR list was glitching, so it was just too bad to post. So I just wanted to come up here and tell you guys that I talked about Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, and I'm looking forward to reading this one. I normally don't read books like this, but I wanted to give it a chance because I'm getting summer vibes from the cover and obviously from the title. So I think it might be a fun summer read. Although I'm a horror fan through and through, sometimes I find myself getting into romance and things like that every now and then. So looking forward to this one. But yeah, I just wanted to hop on and let you guys know. Sorry for the abrupt cutoff, but this was the last book I covered on my TBR.
Great sitting out here and talking with you guys. But it is getting hot, so I'm gonna head back. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for all your support. Like I said, I love doing this. I wish I can do it more, but I do have a job and I am a mother. Um, but thank you guys so much for watching, and you have a good night.